it's Rebecca here from Precious Pages Papercraft, and today I'm designing a layout for Bramble Fox using some items from the March Fox box, as well as stencil number 57 and also one of the new 12-inch border templates. If you are a Foxbox Plus subscriber, this stencil will be included with your Foxbox along with your paper snips. And if you're just a standard Foxbox subscriber, this stencil will be available to purchase separately in the store. And I've pulled out a slightly older collection to use today. It's by Photoplay and it's one of the Tula and Norbert ones called Sweet as Honey. And as soon as I saw this perspective title in the March Fox box, I instantly thought of this collection. And I worked with it for Paper Maze, I think last year or the year before, and I haven't touched it since. I thought it was a perfect opportunity to get it out. The colours work so nicely. Obviously the sentiment being with bees and things, there's lots of bees in this collection. So I thought it would work really nicely for today's layout. So I've got a recent photo of my little one up at our local National Trust site. It's one of our favourites. It's such a massive estate that the car park is right at one end, and then you go up a hill to the house and all the grounds and the forest and things. So they actually put on a bus service, private bus that you can get up there, and my little one loves the bus. So it was just a day out during our February half term, we popped up there so that he could go on the bus. And it was a bit weird because you had snowdrops in sort of one area of the state, loads and loads of snowdrops, and then the other areas you had daffodils everywhere, so it was a bit like winter meets spring all at the same time. So it was nice because we've got lots of photos, and my little one knows that daffodils are his nanny's favourite flowers, so every time we came across a patch of daffodils he sat down amongst them and wanted photos, even if it was just like one or two stray daffodils. So it was a really lovely day and I've got loads of photos. So I'm using one of them for today, and I've used one of the frames from the ephemera pack in the collection just to house my photo, and it had that little cutout heart at the bottom that I've backed with a yellow patterned paper just to sort of bring in that colour of the perspective a bit more. And then I had another frame, that black floral one you see there, and I just played with it behind the photo and actually liked the way it looked, sort of turned like maybe 45 degrees, my math isn't that great, behind it, sort of like a diamond shape. But I wanted to bring more of that yellow colour in, so again I've backed that with a pattern paper that's got a really subtle honeycomb pattern on it. And I love how that looks just sat in the middle there. And I've stuck my perspective title down to the corner of my photo, and then you get two little bees as well. So I've stuck one to the top right of the photo, and I'll pop the other one down in the bottom left where my title is. And I've got this little gonk that I'm going to fussy cut. Now, I absolutely detest gonks. I don't get the fascination with them. They're not for me at all. But just because of the way my little boy kept plonking himself down amongst the daffodils, I saw this gonk and it just made me think of like the gonk plonking himself down, and for some reason it just worked for me. So I've actually stuck a gonk on my layout, which I think is possibly a first, because I always do avoid them at any cost. But I do have a little cute gonk just next to my little boy there. And then I wanted something up for the top of my layout. I wanted something dark to contrast that white background. So I've pulled out one of the new 12-inch border templates. Now these are a fantastic product. You get a 12-inch strip of acrylic, and each edge has got a different style of border on it. So I've used the kind of like a tag or banner effect. I'm not too sure what you would call that, but I've used that edge as opposed to the scalloped edge. And you just literally line it up on your paper, and I've drawn around it, and then I can just cut that with some scissors. So I've done that darker black floral paper which matches that frame I've used, and then I'm going to come in with some basil cardstock just underneath that. I didn't have enough of that honeycomb patterned paper left to get a 12-inch strip, otherwise I would have used that, but I've gone with this. It is ever so slightly darker than that patterned paper. I'm not too fussed, it's not the end of the world. This colour does appear in that patterned paper, but the sort of OCD part of me would have much preferred to use that honeycomb paper, but never mind, just one of those things you can't avoid. And I've stuck the two together so that that yellow is just hanging down underneath the patterned paper a little bit. And I'm going to raise the bottom edge up on foam pads just for a little bit of dimension. And apologies for all the glare on my photo. I recently bought some new lights for my desk, courtesy of Wendy actually. I saw Wendy's photos at one of the Paper Fox events, and it was just a photo of the room, and I could just spot Wendy in the background with these gorgeous massive lights either side of her, and they were really lighting her up, so I had to ask her what she got. And I went and bought them, but I haven't got them positioned quite right on my desk yet, so I am getting a little bit of glare on this video, so apologies. It won't be in the close-ups at the end, but yeah, it's annoying me, so I hope it's not annoying you as much. I've also then added some stickers behind my photo cluster in the middle there. So I've got some floral stickers and also some little honeycomb stickers. And I've got this bee banner sticker. It's a 12-inch or probably 11.5-inch long sticker. And I've just cut a few of the bees and had them sort of cascading down the centre of the page there. And I wanted to extend those areas a little bit more, but I didn't have any more florals. This Photoplay collection doesn't come with a pack of floral ephemera or anything. So I've pulled out stencil 57 because it's got lots of little flowers on it, and I've masked off an area I want to use. So I've got a stem and a flower head, and I'm using Distress Oxides. The green here is Mowed Lawn, and I'm using that for the stalks, and I'm going to add them sort of diagonally through my photo. And once I've added a couple of the stalks, I'm going to then mask off the flower head and use that. Now, Morag has got some new products in store that are fantastic for this. I haven't got my hands on them yet, so I do need to get some. They are little ink blending brushes, but they're really small, fine heads. So perfect when you're adding just finer details like this. It would have been perfect for these little bits on this stencil, as opposed to my big chunky blending brush. I'll pop a link in the description box below to the store for you. Have a look at them because they are a fantastic tool, and like I say, it would have been a lot quicker and easier for me to use that for this stenciling. But this colour here is Fossilised Amber, and that's another Distress Oxide, and it just matches that perspective really nicely. So I'm just adding those flower heads on, and then I'm going to add some black detail around the edging and the centre as well. But you can see there, it's just added lovely colouring. Obviously I've got yellow flowers and the grass in the background of my photo, so I really love how it looks like that's extending out from my photo now. And I'm using a black gel pen here. I'm just drawing a black edge around the flowers just to finish them off, and I'm going to add some black sequins from Spiegelmum Scraps. I think it's the set called Penguin Suit. I'm just going to add a black sequin to the centre of each of those flowers. And then before I stick my photo down, I want to add some black splatters to my background. So I'm using a black acrylic paint here, really cheap one from Hobbycraft, nothing expensive, and my trusted Bramble Fox packaging. I say this quite often, but someone mentioned it in one of I think it was Melanie's lives, or it might be Morag's Marvellous Monday live, about me and my packaging. I don't ever throw Bramble Fox packaging away. I always keep it and use it for my mixed media. So I'll smush an ink pad on it and spritz some water, or like this, I'll water down a paint. But I always keep my packaging, and it's perfect for this. And then with a baby wipe, it just wipes up nicely. And then once it starts getting really old and tatty, where I've used it lots, I'll bin it and move on to the next one. But I do have a nice stash of Bramble Fox packaging that I use for this, and it's great if you take the cardboard bit out as well. It's great for the packaging technique. So yeah, never throw your packaging away. It's very useful, and it's a lovely size as well, really easy to use. So I've got my splatters down, they're not dry yet, so I am having to be very careful. I've added some foam behind my photo and then behind that black floral frame, so there's quite a bit of dimension in the centre of my page, so they're not sitting on the splatters, so I've managed to avoid smudging any of that. But I've used glossy accents to stick that down, as well as some double-sided tape. And then I've just used my glossy accents to stick that additional little bee down by my title. And I always use glossy accents for my perspectives. I just find it has a really strong hold. And there's layouts that I've made years ago with perspectives on and used glossy accents, and they're still stuck in my albums. They haven't pinged off or anything. So that is my go-to adhesive. And then just a couple of little stickers there to finish off, and that is me done. So thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed the layout and the process. I've absolutely loved the March Fox box. I think it's been one of my favourite ever Fox boxes. And if you love these little cute bees, there is coming shortly, if it's not already out on the website, a little set where you get a title and some of these bees included. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But thanks for joining me. I'll leave some links in the description box to the store, to our Bramble Fox subscription page, and also to our Facebook group, Bramble Fox Friends. Do head on over and join us there. We have lots of fun and chat and inspiration, and you can also join in with our monthly challenge and win a voucher to the store. So lots of things going on, so do check that out. But thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time.